Hey everyone, I've just been playing around with these rails that I just acquired. I'm still in lockdown, but I got these sent to me. I'm trying to work out what the best configuration will be for the solar bits. I'm still waiting on some parts. It's really hard at the moment to get anything, and I'm just running the solar with this Grow Watt inverter, which I've just picked up. So I've got to do a bit of research on the Grow Watt, which if anyone's watching. If you've got a way of putting the panels up on the roof is 10 by 6 by, I think it's 3-4, and these rails are 3-1 long. If you've got a good way to put them up, I've got about, at the moment I have 22 panels. So 22 panels at the moment. I can get some more, but this is only a 5 kilowatt inverter, so that might be a bit hard to get hold of. I paid this off over time. Now, at the moment on Andy's channel, he's helping a guy out in England to pay for a charger for his ride-on scooter. I donated some money. Look, I never ask anyone for any money for my channel, but if you watch Andy's channel at all, please donate. Let's get that guy a charger for his system. I'm not worried one way or another. I slowly plod along and get things done, and I'm happy with that. But when you get around to it, it's a small world, and if you can help someone on your way, you're helping yourself out in a way, I believe. I'm going to have to go and get my dogs in it because they're having to go up the bigger dogs down the back. My dog's very small. What did I end up grabbing? Well, I didn't grab it, my wife did, like I said. Grow Watt inverter, 5 kilowatts, off grid. Comes with a dongle for the Wi-Fi. And all the cables I need are down here. So it comes with your printer cable, printer USB cable, a couple of wires there, and a RS323 cable maybe, or 434 or something like that. So no instructions. I'm really disappointed on that. You'd think if you're going to buy something, unless it's inside here, but I very much doubt it. So it has a lot of information on the side. 120 to 430 volts output range. It can have 450 DC maximum PV input range. So maybe I can just hook them all up together and do it that way. Here's a nice little Wi-Fi information, a couple of screws and the connector. So I'll be using that. I'm still waiting on some more circuit breakers that I'm waiting for, but I have 10 sets of these poles at the moment. So I've got 10. I have the panels themselves are 1650 long by about 1 meter wide. They're only 250 watt panels, but that's all I could afford or get. I also have to do it off grid because here in Australia you need to have someone authorise it. So I will disconnect my shed from the grid, and I only have one grid tied thing coming in, and that will be my internet. So other than that, it will be disconnected. So I need to disconnect the shed. So if anyone's got any good ideas for me to complete this task or do it. Please, if you've got ideas or drawings or something like that, give me a yell. Yeah, I could probably work it out over time, but the community is growing, and we've got about 2,200 subscribers now. A lot of them are looking at other stuff. I do a lot of stuff on electronics. I can do a lot more on electronics. I do some stuff on gold prospecting, if anyone believes it or not. And I have a little bit of knowledge into some of the things that Minelab put together. So that's handy for me. Not their actual detectors, I haven't pulled one of them apart yet, but all the other stuff. So please leave me some sort of comment below what you think, how I should go about this. Yes, I have got these feet here which are for tiled roofs, but that's all I could get at the moment, so it's all I'm going to be able to afford to do. I don't have at the moment any 18650s left, but I do have a couple of banks left which I'm going to do some stuff with as well. So yeah, thanks for watching. I'm going to move all benches around and do some other stuff, and yeah, there's my dog Guns. He's just heading out, he's exhausted. I reckon he'll be going home, and I reckon I'll be going home soon after I check out what the voltages are on the back of the panels. Picked it up, but I stuffed it on the way, and that's all its information on the back at the moment. And there's a bit of mould growing on the back, which not a big problem. So maximum series fuse rated at 15 amps. So the more you add, the more than 15 amps it'll be. So hopefully we'll be able to work it all. 37.35 volts. So you've got 22 panels to work with. And I have to check what the grow watt can actually take, or it can take 450, but I'm not sure on the maximum current it will take. So the maximum input current on this thing would be 18 amps. Okay, 18 amps can come in, but it depends on how many volts it will take in. So maximum input voltage, that's the AC bit. So the maximum input at 18 amps is 450 volts DC. So at 18 amps. Number of strings input, one string. So it can only take one string in. So I'm going to have to link up a heat to get me voltages up. So it looks like they're going to be daisy chained up to 450 volts. And I can't do 2 rows of them. So that's a bit of a problem, but anyway. What else have we got here? That's all the altitude and temperature. I'm going to have to keep it cool because the operating temperature is 0 to 55, and this shed will probably get above 55. So that might be something that the batteries might be doing. It might be putting on some sort of cooling system onto this shed eventually, a cheap one. The batteries can battery input. So battery input can go up to 48 volts DC at 117 amps. So I'm going to have to control it down to 117 amps at least, or a bit lower. So that's really interesting. But I need to find actual manual for this, considering this came with no manual, which is very disappointing. I picked this up, I think Andy showed it on his channel, and now I'm using it on my channel, which is good. I think it's a lot quicker than using a multimeter. I can use a normal multimeter. These 2 leads are normally the ones I use. They're quick. I just plug them in and then plug it on auto MPPT, and we'll have a look at what the voltages are on this. 18 volts and 18 volts and about 0.39 amps, so it's very low on the ampage. And this is a second-hand broken panel. Not bad for a second-hand broken panel, which would probably be handy somewhere around a farm, somewhere to do a bit of charging if you've got a spot for it. And yeah, it could probably do your tractor. So those trees, and that is what's causing this panel not to get enough power. So we'll have to look at this and see how we're going to hook it all up. I did have a guy that was a friend that would have given me the full lowdown on the best way to put them together. Like, I can put them together, but the best way to do it is what I'm looking at. Anyway, so we're going to look at about 450. I don't know whether you can only string one together or two together. Anyone's got comment, leave it below so I can find out more information that you guys know, because you probably know a lot more than what I do. But they're all the bits and pieces I've got over there. Got another two panels over there. Got to take them off and pop them on the panels. Yes, they're different panels. They're 250 panels. Beautiful sunny day here in Australia. It's about to hit spring, and I'm pretty happy. There's a box down there on the ground. I'm going to have to pick that up. The wind's been blowing a couple of things around. But my apple trees are about to bloom, my plum trees are blooming, and I've got a tree over there. I've got no idea what that is. But yeah, and I've got to treat my lemon tree. So yeah, and I've got a heap of apple trees. No one seems to be wanting to buy them at the moment. I don't know why. They're really cheap. So anyway, we'll keep moving along, and hopefully I'll get it up on top of that roof soon.